Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about things I want to see in WWE 2K25 or any future WWE 2K games. So to start us off with, we're going to be talking about the subtitle for the game, and because 2K24's was obviously finish your own story, I think it's appropriate to name 2K25 create your own story. And I'll go more in depth of that topic later on in the video, but that's pretty much the main title for the game, the main subtitle. Alright, so now we're going to get into the new match types I want to see, starting off with the Inferno match. The reason I want to see this back is just because it's pretty much just to add in new match types. I want to see an Inferno match, and you have the fire animations for like the flaming tables and all that, so maybe add it in, and because it's been a while since we've had it in the game, so add it in. Well, that one I didn't have much to talk about, but the next one I will have, and that is the Buried Alive match, because we already have the casket match. Buried Alive is one of those match types that I used to play as a kid on SmackDown vs. Raw 2008, and that was my first ever wrestling game I ever played, so I have a nostalgia for that game, and I used to play Buried Alive matches all the time, and I think it would be cool to have the two options of casket match then Buried Alive. You can literally have like the dirt pile and everything on the stage, so you have to go up the stage to get to the main, like, way to end the match. So yeah, that's that match type. The next match type I want to talk about, and I don't know if it was in any wrestling games. I don't know. If you know, let me know in the comments, but I put down the triple cage match from WCW, just because think about all the OMG moments you could hit off the cage. Like, you could have someone at the very top of the cage, choke slam them through the cage, and they literally go one by one through the cage until they reach the ring. Just think about that. That would be awesome. The next match type I want to see is a returning one from SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. I don't know if it was in any other games, but let me know. And that is the 3 Stages of Hell match, because honestly I just want to see that in game. I've tried to recreate it, but it's hard whenever you have a championship match and you want to recreate it in universe. So maybe add in the 3 Stages of Hell so we can play 3 match types, and there will also be like exclusive, like third, like, okay, there's only a match you can play during the 3rd stage. Those will be ladder matches, TLC matches, Buried Alive, casket, and I think those are it, because those are the only ones we have to run up and grab something or bury someone or pull the casket on them. I feel like it would be a perfect stipulation for the final match type. Yeah. And the final one is something that everyone wants for a WWE game, and that is intergender matches that work in any game, in any match type. Just because, like, can you imagine having a War Games match with 2 men and 2 women on one side and 2 men and 2 women on the other side? It would be chaotic, but it would be awesome. So yeah, those are the new match types I want to see generally in 2K25, or if they can't get it done in the time, maybe in 2K26 or beyond, you know, just one of those things. So now to talk about the new showcase mode, and I generally think it should be about CM Punk's career, because honestly, he's been gone for a few years, and I feel like him having a comeback would actually be a good point to pretty much base a showcase mode around him. Pretty much start off whenever he joined WCW, goes up to when he won the World Heavyweight title, maybe add in the first ever Money in the Bank match he won, and the cash-in. The first time he won the WWE Championship, which I know will be a bit hard with the whole Vince McMahon thing going on right now, unless it's sorted out by the time it comes out. I don't know, I'm not from the future. But yeah, pretty much gets the story around him. But there's also one thing I want them to remove, and that is the slingshot tech. Because honestly, the first time I tried to live stream the showcase mode on this channel, literally got my first copyright strike, or like a warning about a copyright strike. I don't know, I'm not very good at reading, so I find that's one thing about me, is that I find it very difficult to read things, and I do not, you know, go well with like, oh, I got a strike, what was it for? I can't read, I don't know what it was for. But yeah, those are pretty much the two new things I want to see. Or another thing I want to see, it probably won't be added, is a Road to WrestleMania mode. But like, for me, I don't mind the showcase mode, but it does get kind of tedious because we've already seen the story. I would mostly like to see pretty much like a custom storyline, like the Road to WrestleMania, where you're literally just chaos. It was hilariously funny at some point, and a lot scary at other points. On to the next one, and that is my GM mode. And I've actually made like a few wee like updates to the mode here. So for one, add in exclusive PLE match types. And if most of you are wondering, what does that mean? I mean, like, for example, we obviously don't have the Royal Rumble, but maybe they could add that in for like the extended weeks, which I really hope makes a return, because 25 weeks, just for me, because they don't have the Rumble, it's like, aw. But for me, if they add in that, they could add in the Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, obviously Survivor Series is there, but you can have the match types for that, and I've actually come up with a wee concept for how it would work. So for example, the Royal Rumble, if you were to have the Royal Rumble with only one opponent, with one opponent's brand, you would be able to put 15 wrestlers into it from your brand, and the other person's brand would be able to put 15 in. If there was 3, you would obviously do 10, but then if you had all 4, it would obviously be 5 wrestlers, so on and so forth. War games would actually be a good concept too, for like, okay, you pick 4 opponents to go up against the opposite opponent's brand, so you have pretty much, okay, you pick your 4, I pick my 4, and you choose your 4, obviously the AI, or hopefully they actually add in an online feature where you can have an online opponent. They pick their 4, and then you can choose to go to battle or do this or whatever. The other thing I have written down here is the ability to create our own shows. Like, there are so many creation like arenas out there and community creations that I want to make a personal like general manager mode from. Like BCW I want to create, and you actually get to like make the pay-per-views and all that for them too. It may take a little bit of time, but it's a new like version of GM mode. Also, give us the ability to swap the belts around, because say for example we don't like the version that is already like put on to like the default GM mode. We have the ability to go, okay, do you want to swap belts? That could be like a promo segment where you're like, okay, I would like to switch belts. This belt doesn't work for me, and then you can choose to switch between any of the selected belts, even create a belts. So yeah, that's pretty much that. It's just like, it would be nice to have those things. If they add them in 2K25, I would be happy, but if they don't, I could wait till next year. So yeah, moving on to the next topic. So now we're going into the stuff that I really want to see get fixed, universe mode. And first off, we're going to start off with is bring back promo segments just because one, it was a nice feature to have. It made it more like realistic. You could start a rivalry, you can end a rivalry, so on and so forth. You can start a team, end a team. But yeah, I feel like that would be a good place to like, okay, we can add wrestlers. I am actually thinking about a new segment if they add that in, and it's swapped pretty much as my previous version as the GM mode. The ability to swap belts and actually have a cutscene for it. So say for example, you have the Undisputed World Heavyweight Championship, or the, I think it's called the WWE title now. Pretty much you come out with that and you have the blanket over a new belt like they always have for the titles, and you can say something like, okay, I have enjoyed being this champion, but I'm tired of this belt, I'm going to get rid of it and show you a new belt. And that gives you the ability to just like show like a brand new belt. And before you do the segment, obviously you get to like choose what belt you want to use. Like, oh, I want to use this belt, I want to use that belt, or this or that, pretty much that. And it can come either way, like, oh, a wrestler gets upset because their title reign will no longer matter, because that's something that WWE games do, like one belt, even though it should all be connected, but I don't going too much into detail there. The next thing I want to see is bring back the draft, because the draft is a thing now, and I've actually come up with another wee concept for how that would work. And pretty much the night after WrestleMania, you have a match type. If you win the match type, you get to draft one wrestler or a team of wrestlers from one of the brands. You get to select what brand you want to get them from, or so on and so forth. Or if they win their matches, so on and so forth. So yeah, pretty much that's my concept. If it was like in Superstar mode, but if it was in like Universe mode, it would probably be like WWE 12, where you chose a wrestler was chosen by a loading screen, which I absolutely loved. That it was very like cool to see that. And one of the things that they could add is them coming out in just casual gear, like just their casual clothes, because they're not wrestling the night. So obviously have them come out in their natural clothes just to say, yep, I've been drafted to this brand. One more thing I want to talk about for Universe mode, and this is something I've heard many people talk about, that is the ability to start a blank slate. Like, just completely start off brand new Universe mode. Nothing's like, no championships have ratings, no wrestlers have any rivalries or any like grudges, no allies, no this or that. It's pretty much just an entirely blank slate, and you pretty much, I think that would fix up a ton of issues with Universe mode, because the titles are locked between certain wrestlers, where you want a other wrestler to be world champion, but they're not like eligible to be in the running up for the belt, so you have to like so on and so forth to get them there. But yeah, pretty much blank slates just allow us to create our own personal universe, and also allow us to like do other things. I don't know, will probably pop into my head. But now let's move on to the next one. Okay, so the next one we're going to talk about is My Rise. I'm not going to be talking about like what story they should do, what storyline, but I'm going to go into like things they could fix, things they can add, so on and so forth. First off, we're going to go with the things they can add, and I've written down one thing here, and it's a thing I've wanted for a long time, and that is semi-open world. The ability to allow us to go backstage, go up to like all around the arena, go outside of the arena, meet the fans, so on and so forth. It would be a nice change of pace and actually allow us to like, okay, instead of like going to your phone and selecting like what to do, allow us to walk to them, and also allow us to drive to places, like allow us to hop on a Segway or something to get to places faster. It would be absolutely hilarious to seeing your custom wrestlers going, hello, how are you? But yeah, that would be main open world stuff. Use elevators, so on and so forth. You can use the gym to gain stamina, like the old SmackDown days. You can start brawls like SmackDown vs. Raw 2011. You can do side missions, side quests, all that sort of stuff. You can be able to sign autographs, so on and so forth. You can see the arena get built for like days. That would be like the timer to tell you, hey, the show's about to start, you have to be here for this time. So yeah, that's pretty much my main fix. The other main fix, well, that's my main add-on. I meant my main add-on. My main fix now is to allow every 2K original character to be unlockable, because honestly, having them unlockable only for my faction mode is kind of annoying, because I really like to play as them in universe or in normal play. And it actually allowed me in 2K19, whenever I unlocked like Cole Quinn and all the other ones, I put them in the BCW brand, and I put BCW as its own separate like brand for like all creation wrestlers or wrestlers you wouldn't usually have in like your normal like Raw, NXT or SmackDown. So make them unlockable in any mode. I really hope they add that in there. Now let's move on to the next one. The next one we're going to be talking about is the My Faction mode. I've only got 2 things written down, so this one should be a quick one. First off, the next one we're going to talk about is My Faction mode, and I've only got 2 written down, so this should be a quick one. First off, the card market. Make the character cards cheaper, because honestly they cost as much as a card pack. They cost more than a card pack. I can literally buy like probably like 3 to 4 card packs and buy one single wrestler. But then you also need to fix the card packs, for example, like keep the wrestlers from a different pack out of the pack, please, because that is absolutely annoying. And the amount of times I've opened like the promo pack and got like Superstar 1 cards, it was absolutely annoying. But yeah, just make the cards cheaper to collect. And another thing, fix online. Online needs a massive overhaul. It needs to be fixed so it's not as laggy. If AEW Fight Forever can allow us to play online with no bugs and no glitching or lagging, I'm pretty sure you can do it, because you're a multi-billion-dollar company, come on. And you're owned by Take-Two that owns Rockstar. I mean, come on. So the next thing we're going to talk about, and this one is actually one I am very excited for, the new creation modes I want to see. And the first one I have written down here, and it's one I actually have a concept for, and I'll try to explain it in the best way I can. Create an attire for a wrestler. And so for example, how it works is that you have obviously custom wrestlers, and you can customize like an attire for an existing wrestler, but it takes up slots in Create a Wrestler, if that makes sense. Like you have like 100 slots, and you can literally spend like those 100 slots on custom attires. But I came up with a solution, and that is pretty much create an attire where each WWE superstar or WWE wrestler, which one you prefer, will have 4 or 5 slots specifically for them, where you get to customize like their attire, their look, their beard, their hair, to make them more modern, make them younger, make them older, so on and so forth. And I feel like it would actually allow us to not be afraid to create custom attires, because there's been multiple times where, well, not multiple times, I've never used Create a Superstar, well, not Create a Superstar, I've used that all the time. The Superstar mode to create like custom attires for wrestlers, I've never used, because I don't want to take up slots for Create a Wrestlers, because I like creating wrestlers or downloading Create a Wrestlers. It would be nice to have the ability to go, okay, I can create a wrestler attire without taking up a create a wrestler slot. Each wrestler will have their 4 or 5 slots. AEW Fight Forever, I think, did it, where every superstar had like 5 slots available to, okay, place an attire on them, but it doesn't take up any slots, so you can do that. Obviously it didn't have much freedom because you can't really like change the t-shirt or change like their main like clothing. But for WWE 2K25, I would like to see that, like, for example, CM Punk, you can make his AEW attires from, like, okay, he wore the tights that one time, you can make him the tight attire, you can make him the shorts attire, you can make him his Ring of Honor attire, so on and so forth. I just feel like that would be very cool to have. So yeah, that's pretty much that. One more thing about the custom attires is when you create a custom attire, you can customize the entrance for that attire without affecting the wrestler themselves. The best way I can explain it is the game Rumble Roses. It had 2 attires for each wrestler, one face, one heel, and they both had different entrances for that wrestler. That's the best way I can explain it. The next one we're going to be talking about is create a theme song, which is a new mode I've also thought of, and pretty much like you've already known that you want to hear, like, oh, I want to hear custom like audios or like music in the game. Create a theme song allows that, where you get to create like your own beat. It's something like GarageBand on like the iPads, where you get to like put like a drum beat and guitar riff and all that, and add some voices here and there to make it like your specific music. So it's not, for example, you want this Fire Burns, the original CM Punk theme. You can make that, but make it in like your own way, so that way it's not copywriting on other people's work, if that makes sense. And then you can have it in community creations, where you can have like a theme song selection and pretty much just go through the amount of theme songs that everyone has. So yeah, that's pretty much pretty much creative theme. The next one, and this one is actually one I really want to see back, because I've seen many videos of like people splashing finishers together, and I'm like, that could work. I hope they bring this back, and that is create a finisher. Just because, like, I know the way it was broken, but I feel like that was the fun of it. It's making the most broken move ever and just going, yeah, that's funny. Like, you can have like a wrestler hit like 50 low blows and the referee won't ring the bell. It's just like la 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 la. But yeah, feel like that would be like a fun thing, and it would actually allow us to like create our own personal finishers that we came up with. Like for me, I came up with a finisher called the GTS 2.0, where it's literally just you get them up in the fireman's carry position and then just launch them into a code breaker, and it would be like an instant knockout or like a super finisher. But yeah, that's pretty much that. And the last one I have in the new creations, and it's one that the main game is named after, that is create a story. Because you have a lot, and I mean a lot, of cutscenes used for My Rise, used for Universe. You have all these cutscenes and you don't allow them to be used. So I recommend create a story, add in all the cutscenes, add in some exclusive cutscenes to create a story, and just allow us to go ham with them, because honestly, I want to create my own stories in the game. Like, there's one story I've thought of, and it's CM Punk versus Shane McMahon for the true best in the world. Yes, it might be a comedic sort of twist, like so on and so forth, but it would be like a fun experience to create your own story and actually publish it onto community creations. That's pretty much that. And now time to move on to the final one, and we'll get into that now. the new add-ons I want to see for the game. New animations for like injured wrestlers or slightly hurt wrestlers. Like if your back is scratched, actually not even if your back is scratched. If your legs are at critical health, you will be able to hit like your finisher. But if your finisher mostly like Seth Rollins' curb stomp or CM Punk's GTS, they will grab at their leg to relieve the pressure immediately after hitting it, because they're using their legs to pretty much deal damage to the wrestler, but it also deals damage to them because critical legs and critical arms. And if the match is over and you've won or lost, you will be helped to the back because you're hurting very badly. The other thing I want to see is new comebacks. Mostly, I've mentioned CM Punk a lot in this video, but I would like to see his comeback. Like, it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, CM Punk doesn't have his comeback, it's not in the game. It should be in there, so maybe add that back. And the last thing that I'm going to talk about here is add in older music for the wrestlers, because the amount of times, like in 2K14, you can't let you can make the Usos, but you can't you can make the Usos, but it doesn't have their theme song. The only one that's close to their theme song is Jey Uso's theme. And just one of those things where it's frustrating. Same goes with DX. You have the DX entrance, but you don't have the DX music or the DX Titantron. That should be in the game immediately, and it should be like that. So yeah, if you guys sat through this entire video watching the near 30-minute video, thank you for listening to me talk about the things I want to see in WWE. Comment what you would like to see in WWE, and I will end the video right here. So if you like this video, leave a like and comment. Be sure to subscribe and ring that bell. I don't know why you have to ring the bell, like notifications or something. But yeah, if you like this video, obviously do those things and let people know about, let your friends, family know about me to keep the subscriber count going up. I'm trying to make it to 1,000 or probably 500. I don't know, I just keep on going until the day goes on. I'm terrible at speaking here, as you can tell. But if you like this video, be sure to share it around. Thank you guys for listening to this entire video of me rambling on about things I want to see, and I'll see you guys in the next video, and remember to stay positive. Bye everyone, and have a great day.